The first weekend of the MLP did not disappoint. We had this drama that happened on Sunday between Annalie and Hayden. If you don't know what happened, I'll tell you in a minute. We had some really exciting matches where teams like the Dallas Flash took care of business. Other teams like the Columbus Sliders had a little bit of a struggle this weekend. We got to see some new partnerships. Some of those partnerships, like the one here between Anna and Kate, gelled very nicely, and we're going to look at it more in depth in a second. Some of these, like Sock and Tyson McGuffin, had some struggles. As always at MLP, we had a lot of fan excitement. We had some really interesting rallies, exciting plays like this one here. We're just battling back and forth. And of course, we had the drama at the end. I'm going to give you the highlights of this past weekend as well as get you ready for the next weekend in Columbus. We're going to start where we left off 2024 with the champs, the Dallas Flash. As I mentioned, they came to Orlando and took care of business. Here they're playing against their toughest opponents during this week of the Columbus Sliders. Leah and Paris were outmatched by Georgia and Tyra here. This next match here, the men's match was actually a much closer match than the women's match. MLP is a women's match, a men's match, and two mixed match. If necessary, we go to a dream breaker. So here, Dallas secures a 2-0 lead in the men after the women had won as well. In this first mixed doubles, it's the Jansen siblings. Here you're going to see CJ getting a little too big. This is something that Leah and CJ are going to have to work out there. Leah is a rhythm player, and so if you take too many balls from Leah, she's going to end up missing those types of shots. And we'll see it again here at match point in the pickle of 11-0, where you're going to see CJ again moving over a little bit too much, and then what happens is he's basically playing 2-on-1 against two excellent players. He comes over here and it's just too much pressure, too much movement. He's all over the place, and then JW eventually just attacks him, moving too much. Very difficult way to win. So Leah and CJ are going to have to work on their approach this season. And then Andre and Paris were the number one team. So here's where the one played two and two played one in the last one in mixed. And so Andre and Paris were able to get a win for Columbus. But Columbus definitely underperformed this week in terms of the points that they were looking for. Dallas, however, did the job they came to do. One of the strengths of Major League Pickleball is this team approach here, where the teams support each other and they also exchange between teams. That's such a powerful part of Major League Pickleball, this support that you have in your complete team. And if you want to watch Major League Pickleball this season, you can follow along at home on Pickleball TV. The action is carried live as it happens. One of the exciting aspects of Major League Pickleball is getting to see different combinations of players. Here we're going to look at 4 different partnerships, 2 that gelled and 2 that did not. This is one of the partnerships that we're looking forward to and still looking forward to seeing if they can gel this season, which is Tyson McGuffin and Sock. Tremendous offensive power with Sock, great defense and understanding of the game from Tyson. What you're going to see here is you're going to see some frustration starting to develop here. The chemistry doesn't seem to be working between the two players. You're also going to see some issues here with just basic middle coverage type of assignments, too easy against a team like Will and Zane when you're missing those types of shots. Here we have Sock defending. That's really not what we want to see. We want to see Jack playing offense and Tyson defending. A little uncertainty there, some frustration with Tyson. At the end, you're going to see Tyson, is clearly frustrated. Jack's clearly frustrated with this situation, the way they're playing. Here we're going to have a missed return of serve, drops his cap, and just wants to get off the court, it looks like. So I got to say right now, we're going to give them 1 high 5 is the rating for this partnership here. Opposite partnership, we're going to look at one that gelled. We're going to look at Dylan and Federico here. And what you're going to see here is, I'm going to pause it for you in a second here, because I want you to see the clarity here, right? Dylan lets that ball go through to Federico to attack it. But then another ball in the middle, Dylan's able to attack that ball. So Federico and Dylan seem to have a really clear understanding of what's going to happen, who's going to attack, who's not going to attack. Here you're going to see the final rally. Here you're going to see a Burt by Federico, clear timing, understanding what Dylan's going to do, where he's going to put it here on this one here. So I'm going to give Dylan and Federico a 5 score on their partnership. It's great to see these two players come together in MLP. Let's look now at 2 women's doubles teams and see how they gelled or not. Here we're going to look at a team that on paper should be very strong. So here we have Paris Todd and Leah Jansen, both top women players. Now they are playing a very tough team here of Tyra Black and Georgia Jansen, a team that's won gold recently, just a very good team. It's not that they lose this game, it's how they lose the game. And it's also the fact that they struggled against other teams this weekend that they should have been able to put away more easily. When you see a team like Paris and Leah here, what happens is you see this, Paris is coming over to take balls from Leah, and that's creating some confusion. They're going to have to figure out who takes what assignment. If they're going to really maximize, you're going to see it again here, where basically that middle ends up staying open. Paris came over, took one, but not the second one. So they're going to have to solve that. Again, it's not losing, it's losing in this manner. Lose it at the end of the day 11-1, and also struggling against teams that they shouldn't struggle against, not with their level of play. What I would say here is I will give Paris and Leah 2 high fives in their score because I believe they will be able to solve their partner issues right now. I expect them to come together this season and be a strong doubles team given their ability. But right now you have to say 2 out of 5 for this team, given how they performed this weekend. All right, now it's your turn to tell us. In the comments for our last video, Jim suggested that taking away rally scoring and going to traditional scoring made the MLP more boring. What do you think? Should the MLP go back to rally scoring or keep traditional scoring? For me, the jury's out, but tell us what you think down in the comments. Let's look at the other side of the coin, a women's team that really gelled this past weekend and I think are going to be really strong this season, which is Kate Fahey and Anna Bright over here in the black shirts with their back to us from the St. Louis Shock. They're playing against Annalie Waters and Megan DeZon in the red there for the New Jersey Fives. 2 very strong teams here. I really like the way that Anna and Kate are moving together, right? Anna's able to take her left side position and insert herself whenever she wants. And then Kate can hit that 2-handed backhand from the middle for a counterpunch pass a player like Annalie Waters. That's going to be really powerful this season. They did run into a little bit of trouble in the middle, which I'll discuss in a second. But I want you to see a 1-2 punch here between Kate and Anna. So Kate's going to basically drive it, and Anna's going to be on the shake and bake. Again, clear assignments. They know what they're doing together as a team. Really powerful. I'm going to end up giving them 4 out of 5 rating. The reason I'm not giving them 5 out of 5, the chemistry's great. Their movement is solid. Everything's good. They have a little bit of a problem in the middle on the soft game. What Megan and Annalie started doing was putting balls here, and this zone here can be a problem for Anna and Kate if they don't figure out how to solve it. Anna may have to start taking more of those balls there in order to avoid the soft game attack on Kate. It was really it was a 6-point lead at one point, but then Annalie and Megan, credit to them, fought for about 8 minutes of extension, and then before Anna and Kate were able to close it out. Curiously, with the same exact shot as before, that counter down the line for the win and for the close. You can tell Kate was excited for that victory. So 4 out of 5 for Anna and Kate. I think they're going to be really powerful this season. We're going to roll right into the men's match. This was a very high-level match in its entirety between the women, the men, and the mixed matches, or the mixed games. Here you're going to see that the Gabe and Hayden have gone out to a big lead. They were up 9-3. Zane and Will kept battling, though, and made it tighter. You can see they're playing an aggressive style of play, which usually plays into Gabe and Hayden's strategy, but Gabe and Hayden were able to handle it for the most part. Again, there is a run here, but basically they're able to come out ahead enough on those to win. So here at 6-9, you're going to see Gabe and Hayden take a timeout. Super smart for their team or them to take a timeout, slow everything down, kind of regroup a little bit. And then now at 10-7, you're going to see that the youngsters are able to close out the match with a really athletic move by Gabe here. You'll see, I don't know how he doesn't fall in the kitchen there, probably because he's 19. And then this is part of MLP that's so great. You see the fans cheering. If you get a chance to check out MLP Live, highly recommend you do it. Use the code BPAcademy at checkout and you get a discount. Here you have the tough team of Annalie and Will. They're a very good mixed doubles team. They take this one for the New Jersey Five. Here's where we have a little bit of jabbering back and forth. So you see them walking off the court there, and then Annalie's going to come over. You know exactly what happened. That's getting sorted as of this taping. But basically, this was unfortunate incident between two young players. But it's the kind of thing you see when tempers are hot. Temperature was hot. This is the next match coming out to warm up, and you can see how it spilt over. I wanted to show you that. So basically, Anna, Bright, and Gabe are going to stop. Everything's happening over here. We'll see how this thing sorts itself out during the season. But when you see Anna Bright and Gabe Tardio come out to the court as the mixed doubles, that's going to be the Shock's #1 lineup, and they're playing against Megan and Zane, a fine team. But Anna and Gabe are going to bring too much to the table here, and it's going to be a victory by Anna and Gabe. And what ends up happening is the St. Louis Shock take the match 3-1 to give New Jersey Fives their first loss of the season. This match was a really good match. I would say this is the highlight match to me between these two teams. Just really, really well fought. And at the end of the day, everybody shaking hands and giving the high fives, but St. Louis Shock too strong for the Fives in this match. Let's look at the standings after week 1 of Major League Pickleball action. No surprise that we have the Fives and the Flash up here at the top of the leaderboard. But if you're going to follow along with the leaderboard situation during the season, here's a piece of advice. Take a look at points per match. That's going to really give you a better guide for who's ahead. Because even though the Fives are ahead, they've played 6 matches. The Flash have played 4 matches, 6, 5. So you can see, like the St. Louis Shock only played 2 matches in Orlando. So if you come over here and look at points per match, Dallas Flash clearly ahead with 3. That means that they did not go to any Dream Breaker. When you look down here at the Shock, they have 2.5 per match because one went to a Dream Breaker, so they got 2 points in that one. Even though they won, they got 2 points instead of 3. And in the other match that they swept, they got the 3 points by winning in the doubles. So if you take a look at this column here, points per match, it'll give you a better sense of how they're doing during the season, because at the end of the season, it'll be points per match that really ends up driving who the winner is, because it will all have played the same number of matches. This week, Major League Pickleball goes to the home of the Buckeyes, Columbus, Ohio. All of the teams that will be playing there will get a chance to keep working on their team dynamics as well as accumulate those points. Here are 3 teams I'm particularly excited to see. St. Louis Shock, Orlando Squeeze, and the host team, the Columbus Sliders, will all be there. They're all going to be playing against each other, and those matches will be spectacular. If you're in the Columbus area and have the chance, make sure you join the Major League Pickleball action live. Use the code BPAcademy at checkout. Next week, we'll give you a wrap on Columbus. Let's keep watching MLP.